Spotlight de Podcast tenemos una entrevista exclusiva con Kjersti Flaa, en donde nos cuenta de toda su carrera, del escándalo del video viral de Blake Lively y de todo lo que ha pasado en el caso. Bienvenidos. Hola, ¿cómo están? Yo soy Mann Cuevas y el día de hoy tengo una entrevista exclusiva con Kjersti Flaa, quien nos va a contar todo el chisme de lo que ha pasado con su carrera después de aquel video infame en donde tuvo una experiencia terrible con Blake Lively. Les quiero avisar que esta entrevista va a estar en inglés, sin embargo, pueden activar subtítulos para que les salga en español todo lo que comentamos. Así que no se preocupen, va a haber subtítulos, pero va a ser en inglés este episodio. Ojalá lo disfruten. Alright, so we are back on Spotlight, the podcast, and I have a very, very special guest. I already told her I'm a little starstruck. It's Kjersti Flaa. How are you?
Ooh.
Welcome to Spotlight.
Oh my God, you said my name perfectly. I never had anyone who said my name like that who's not from Norway. So
Really?
big applause to it. Yes, that was perfect.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I may have rehearsed a few times before.
That's okay. You did so well. Thank you.
Oh, that's amazing. So nice to have you here. Let me tell you, I speak for a lot of the Spanish-speaking community that watch this show. We adore you. You're like a hero for standing up to the bullies. For,
That's so sweet.
like speaking the truth and going out there and exposing what people for who they truly are, right? So we really appreciate that, and it's amazing to get to talk to you a little bit. I mean, I know that a lot of the content creators that speak English are usually connected, but there's a lot of us that speak other languages that have been following this case as well. And we are shocked of the things that we've seen. So this is a global thing, I think, at this point. And sometimes we think it might be more of like the English-speaking community, but no, it goes everywhere, really. And I think it's a story about power. I think it's beyond like two actors fighting. I think it's about abuse of power, and a lot of us get very triggered by that. So it's amazing to have you here. I want to start by asking you, how has your life, you have an extraordinary career as a journalist, but how has your life changed since that video that went viral came out?
Wow. I mean, first I have to comment on what you said, that this is a worldwide thing, because I get so many messages from people all over the world. They're like, we're watching you from everywhere, from Australia to, Eastern Europe, South America, everywhere. So it's so fascinating to me how this kind of has brought people together in a weird way.
Yeah, it has.
And it's very fascinating. And I think there's so many people that are excited about this story, of following it, because there's so many layers to it. And as you said, people are so surprised what they found out. It's like, what? Are people in Hollywood like that?
Yes.
So I think that's one of the things, and also one of the reasons why I'm so invested in it, because I think it's just so fascinating. Like, we learn so much about the PR machinery in Hollywood. We learn so much about celebrities and everyone around them, the power they have.
Yeah.
And how much they're lying. Yeah.
Yeah, and also it makes you think of how many people before Justin Baldoni endured this and didn't have the ability to fight back, right? Which is crazy. In my show, we call this our favorite soap opera. So every episode I do is a new episode of the soap opera, because the saga never ends. Every day.
So true.
You know this. Like my channel, we used to do music, which, by the way, we'll talk about your new release song. But it used to be about independent artists, and I cover some entertainment stuff. And then it kind of turned into the Blake Lively in Spanish channel because of how people are caught up in that situation.
Yeah. But I forgot to answer your question. I'm sorry. Because you asked me something and then I talked about something else. I hate when that happens as a journalist.
That's fine.
That's what celebrities do all the time, to just divert the attention. But you asked me how things have changed from my video went viral.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
And you know what? I have to say that, first of all, I had no idea that video would get picked up like that. I was in shock when it happened. I had not planned anything. A lot of people have speculated, you posted it because of the controversy that was around her at that point. And I was like, no, I didn't. The reason why I posted it was because I was kind of tired of Hollywood. I was on my way out. I'd interviewed celebrities for, 15, 16 longer, many years. And I watched the movie. There was a press screening, an early screening before the premiere. And I thought, oh, I have this video, this interview with Blake Lively. I never posted it. She was awful. And then I thought, well, I'm just going to post it now. But I didn't really think about it. I had kind of a weird feeling in my stomach when I did it, because you never know how people are going to react.
Yeah.
And sometimes people attack the journalist, saying like, oh, you should never have said that. You shouldn't have congratulated her on her pregnancy. That's rude. I didn't know how people would react. But I was very surprised when people reached out to me with so much support and like, oh, wow, I've been in that situation myself. A lot of women, I think, have felt that, specifically when two women team up against one, that situation. I think so many people could relate to it. And I think maybe that's why it took off so much, because there was like a universal theme there, in a sense, bullying. Everyone
Totally.
experienced something like that in their life.
Yeah, and what's interesting about it is because first of all, the world already knew she was pregnant. So I think that's a very key point in there. It's not like you were bringing up something that wasn't known. And second of all, you're a class act. Like the way you behave handling that. Trust me, I probably would have gone fired, because I would have probably, I as you can see, I like to talk a lot. So I probably would have answered back. But you took it with grace. You were collected, you were professional. I was blown away. And I think that's why people really connected with you, because you took the high road. Like, you cannot let them show themselves. So and both of them, because it was I think, in my view, it was a team effort there, but especially Blake Lively. I think a lot of us could see like how you reacted to it, and I think that spoke volumes about yourselves as well. So
thank you. You have to keep in mind, though, that in those situations, if I would have reacted, I would have jeopardized my job.
Yeah,
so
exactly. No, I get
didn't.
that. Yeah.
I didn't have that much choice, but No, thank you for saying that, though.
Yeah,
that
probably I would have lost the job right there. Let's just say, but yeah, no, you did amazing. So I think that that changed your life in a lot of ways. So a lot of people that watch this show are from Spain, so they've been telling me.
I'm here now.
I've told them that I was going to interview you, and they're all been. Please ask her, how's Spain? Like, what can you tell us about Spain? How are you liking Spain?
I love it here. I'm in Mallorca. It's an island. It's so beautiful here. The people are so nice. Everything is just so relaxing, and so like the quality of life here is very different from LA.
Mm-hmm.
People go out. It's like people don't have many worries. They just sit and drink wine all day. And, nature is beautiful. Food is amazing. I've got to meet so many people. I play tennis here. They have the most beautiful tennis courts in the world, like near the beach. I mean, yeah, I can't say enough good things about Mallorca, about Spain. I've been to a lot of places in Spain as well. So yeah, no, highly recommend it.
That's awesome. Yeah, they'll really appreciate it. People in Mallorca actually watched the show, and there was a guy that sent me a comment that was saying, he's like, I live in the same neighborhood. I'm always hoping I'll see her. Well, in the same island, I think they meant. Yeah,
maybe he's seen me, but I don't look the same when I walk the dog with my sunglasses and my hair up. I'm like, it's so hot here now. It's not even as hot as it's gonna be, I hear.
Yeah,
but I'm still like, putting aircon on and the fan, and yeah,
it can be that.
That's going to be a little bit of a challenge, I have to say.
That's a good place to be when you're writing this Blake Lively drama, because
that is true.
At least you have that. Yeah, so that's amazing. And speaking of the Blake Lively drama, I would love to hear your thoughts. The last 24 hours have been quite a journey for a lot of people. A lot of people are triggered right now because of what happened with the amended complaint that wasn't handed in. And I want to hear your thoughts on it. I'll just share mine very quickly. So for me, I feel if James Batyshka is lawyering up, if Leslie Sloan is putting statements in panic, and if Brian Friedman said this was an ongoing thing, I feel, and knowing what we know about the judge, that this could be an appeal situation. That's what I think personally, because you don't fight and spend all of this amount of money to just don't do anything about it at the end. That's what I feel. But I would love to hear what your thoughts are on this whole situation.
I just posted a video about it, and I have exactly the same opinion as you about it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the thing is, why would he? First of all, like you said, Brian Friedman came out in the press and he said, what did he say? This is far from over, right?
That's right. That's right.
And then there wouldn't be any incentive to just drop everything.
Exactly.
And that would make him look like he lost, it will weaken him a lot. And they still have to fight her because she still has her claims against him. So it makes no sense to me. And the thing is, the reason why I think they did it this way is he didn't amend the complaint first, because if that got dismissed, he wouldn't be able to appeal the original one. So then he could only appeal this one, which is only like 4 claims left out of the 7, and the 7 and the 3 that 4 and I'm holding up 8 fingers. I mean 7. And the 3 that he originally that they dismissed were the most important ones.
Yeah.
So I think definitely that's what's going to happen. But I mean, we could be wrong. I don't know. But I feel so many creators out there now are like, oh my God, this is the day of sorrow. And he dropped everything. And I'm like, no. And the thing is, I don't think there's a settlement going on, because Justin Baldoni would never settle unless Blake Lively admits she lied.
Yeah.
And also, if there was a settlement, they would have filed documents saying, like, we will pause discovery. So
and that's
I
still ongoing.
totally agree with you.
Yeah, and we don't know if she went already to the deposition, which she could delay, but eventually she'll have to visit because she's the one that sued. And she's basically she's the evidence, because it's basically her word against the amounts of evidence that we've seen, right? So she kind of has to show up to that. I mean, there's no question about it. But yeah, I agree with you. Also, there's new discoveries, this Megan Towie interview that came out, and this other information that has emerged that can potentially help those claims. So it would make sense to me that you would try to do it with a judge that may be a little, may
less
not be
biased.
As connected or have a
so but I don't know this, maybe this, because because he would then appeal this in something called Second Circuit. Yeah. So if he does that, can he only use the original complaint, or can he add things? Like, can he add the Megan Towie things to that when he appeals, or does it have to be the original one that was dismissed? I'm not sure about that. Do you know?
I think they can add, if there's new discovery that happened, he can definitely add them. And the reason he would appeal is because of those new discoveries, because it gives him an opportunity to include them. Because if he moves forward with the amended complaint, then all these new discovery really can't be introduced anymore. So this will give him an opportunity. From my understanding, I'm not a lawyer, I may be wrong. So it's definitely a possibility. And knowing Brian Friedman, especially after fighting this long, if it gets delayed, it gets delayed. That's the sort of the not so great thing. But I mean, what you want is to win, right? Especially if you have the facts on your side. So
of course. And I think, all the time and pain and effort and money they put into this already makes no sense to say, let's just drop this. No.
And also, Blake Lively's PR team are not out in the press shouting victory right now, which also makes me think that there's a reason.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that. That is a very good point.
Yeah, because if this was true, and they would be out there saying, see, we told you, because they've done it before. But the fact that they're silent, and the fact that Leslie Sloan is introducing these things like this sworn statement, saying like half-truths or stuff like that, it makes me think that something else is going on. I've been telling my audience that there's a little like instinct in me feeling
Yeah,
like
I have the same
something's
feeling.
brewing. Yeah, and we
I,
don't know about it, but when it comes out, it's gonna be like, okay, now it makes sense. So yeah,
Yeah, I think you're so right with that. And I was just talking about that James Fatishka today as well, the journalist, and his involvement in this. I mean, you saw that he changed up his lawyers
yeah,
also a few days ago, which I also think is an indication. But I think now Leslie Sloan, I don't know if you saw that, she wants them to pay her legal fees now, which is
yeah.
$1.3
Set,
million
yeah, yeah,
dollars.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like a ridiculous amount of money.
No way that she paid
Yes.
$1.3 million in legal fees. I don't believe that.
Yeah.
But the problem for this guy now is that, this journalist, he's the one basically who dragged Leslie Sloan into the lawsuit.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's why he lawyered up, because now that her case has been dismissed
Mm-hmm.
and she wants money for lawyers' fees, he's just like, oh, oops.
Yeah.
I,
And he got a criminal lawyer, first of all,
yeah,
and he's from Garagos and Garagos, which is the ones representing the Menendez brothers
yeah,
and
and
many other
many
celebrities.
others.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, you don't get that lawyer, which it seems to have a connection with Brian Friedman as well. If there's not some, I mean, he was pretty much out of the case at this point. So why would you lawyer up like that if nothing's going on? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be very interesting. I will continue be covering it in Spanish, and we'll continue watching you cover it because your coverage is amazing. And
Hmm.
I want to play a little game. So everybody that comes to Spotlight the podcast, we play a game called Like Dislike. So it's thumbs up for like, thumbs down for dislike. So I've loved watching your commentary every time Blake Lively's in a red carpet. My favorite thing to watch is what are you gonna say about the outfit? So we're gonna play a little Blake Lively game. So 3 outfits, and I think you and I, despite of our personal opinions, we can recognize if we do like it, we may give her a like. Okay, it's not gonna be.
It's allowed.
It's
We
allowed.
don't like her. We do like her
Yeah,
outfit
yeah. I
only.
mean,
Okay, that's
if the
clear.
designer is
Good to
good.
make that clear.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, to
yeah.
make that clear. So just so people know, okay?
Okay.
So I'm gonna show you the image. Okay. So first one, this is when she attended a Chanel Tribeca Festival's art dinner, okay?
You know what? I'm kind of in between for this because I think pants would look good by themselves. Top would look good by themselves, maybe, but
Mm,
together, too much.
yeah,
I'm blurred out. Yeah.
dislike. Yeah, I give
Yeah.
it a dislike. It does not work. It doesn't favor her silhouette whatsoever. I feel like also she loves these like kind of white pants at the bottom, and it just doesn't. It's not very
It's
flattering.
fashionable right now, but I do agree with you. She also loves patterns, a lot of patterns, and she loves to mix up patterns that don't go together. It's
Yeah,
just like,
yeah,
what
yeah.
are you
It's just like
thinking?
no.
Yeah.
I
No.
totally agree. Not the
Yeah.
nicest one. All right,
No.
let's go with the next one. So this is a Gucci in the Milan fashion show. Okay. Like or dislike?
Yeah, I do like that.
Yeah, I
Looks
do like that
classy.
too. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
very classy and very
yeah,
like nicely fitted. Yeah.
yeah, and that yellow color looks good on her. So
Yeah.
I have to say that was
Yeah.
decent.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. We'll
it's
give her
Gucci, so
that.
I
We'll
would
give
have accepted.
Gucci that. We're not giving her that. We give it to
Yeah,
Gucci.
exactly. All right, and this is the last one I got for you.
Yeah, I know what you're gonna feel about this one though. Because I know you don't like white pants.
Yeah, yeah,
But
you're
there's
very
just so much going on here. Like,
yeah, yeah,
what
yeah,
is
yeah,
with the tie and that bag together
yeah,
with that outfit? Like, it's too much again. It's like, blah.
yeah, totally.
You should have that, that thing that makes the sound like,
Yeah, 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 we should.
yeah.
I'm gonna add a special effects in the
Yeah.
future. Yeah,
Yeah.
again, it's too much. I don't know what it is with her that she thinks like too much is good, and no, it's like edit, girl. You gotta
Yeah.
learn to edit.
Less is more.
Less is more. I totally agree.
Yeah.
Like the
So,
yellow dress. That's a good
yeah,
example.
someone
So
said in a podcast the other day, a comedian, she was talking about her, like she's like everyone's mom, like she's wearing all these patterns that don't match, way too many bracelets that makes noise all the time. It
yeah,
was quite funny. I was like, you're so spot on.
yeah,
And of
yeah,
course,
yeah.
her outfits from It Ends With Us, I mean, they were horrendous,
Of course,
horrendous,
they were
and
they were
super expensive.
hideous. Yes, 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 yes. I mean, if you go over budget, at least get like something this, you know.
Yeah.
You could have gone yeah, it was awful. And then she tried again to pin it all on Baldoni and the team when she was the one.
Of course, it was his fault.
Yeah.
Everything is his fault, you know?
I mean, we've seen how you dress outside, Blake, so
yeah.
it's obvious
when she's allowed to dress herself. It reminds me, you know, when you have like 5-year-old kids and they go to school and they dress themselves, they end up looking like that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I guess she never, just kind of stayed in that era, you know. A spoiled brat. I'm saying it, spoiled brat. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, it was awesome having you here. It was
Thank you for having
me. It was
awesome. Oh, thank you so much. And thank you for pronouncing my name so well.
Oh, no, my pleasure. Well, I mean, it's your name. I mean, we should all make the effort. All right. Well, thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it. Yeah. And then we'll be in touch for all the developments that happen in the future.
Yeah. So great talking to you. Thank you so much for having me. Adiós.
Adiós. Y bueno, pues la verdad la pasamos súper a gusto con Kjersti, la verdad fue súper divertido estar con ella. No se olviden de suscribirse, activar la campanita de notificaciones para más información y recuerden seguir apoyando a Spotlight, únanse a Patreon también. Yo soy Mann Cuevas y nos vemos en el próximo episodio. Bye.